Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Continuation of the class now, and that is the second round. Yes, we are coming at that articles and journals. See, you have to journals only in articles comes. Then why is the question of writing articles? Tell me.
Yes.
See, in journals articles will come. So, and then don't write here because journal should not be in the center of the page. It is always a side heading. When you write the side heading, I told you what is the procedure you should have adapted. What is the procedure? The first letter should be capital letter, other letter should be the small letter, and prepositions, conjunctions, and articles should not be a capital letter for every word. The other words should be always in the capital letter. That is the principle in writing the, even the report also, you don't keep it, this is also a side heading. But see the sequence, which I told you already, the sequence which come first, which come later. Which come first? Which come first in the bibliography?
Yes.
Which come first in the bibliography?
Book.
Banana, Bamia,
Yes.
Razi. What come first in bibliography?
Book.
Books come first. Next. Next.
Next
You know-
is Juno.
Next.
Next is Juno, I think.
I say next. After
Juno. Yes.
after journal, what comes next? Tell me. If you don't know, you say pass on.
Passa.
Why you are wasting the time?
Passa.
See,
What passa?
textbooks first, and journal and articles, we need not to write it. Journals, legislations, it's the old style. Legislations will keep in the preliminary pages. List of the legislation will keep in the preliminary pages. What is meant by preliminary pages?
Preliminary pages are those which are numbered by Roman number.
Small Roman number. It is
Yes.
numbered by the small Roman number, and the main body from
Yes.
chapter 1, it starts with the Arabic numbers. And the international instruments also we cannot write here. We write only in the preliminary pages. This is the new style I am speaking about. I'm speaking about the new style. It is the old style. This is, and the new style. It is gone. Just a minute. Let me drag to this. Yeah. So the new style will make it out in the preliminary pages by writing the list of the legislations, and the list of this comes in the preliminary pages. It comes in the preliminary pages. Yes. And this also comes under the preliminary pages because the new style this is. This is the new style. Preliminary pages. Yes. Yes. And dissertations. When you say dissertations, here you can keep the Virgil thesis. And case laws we don't keep in the back. We keep in the, again, case laws also preliminary pages. This is a new style. And newspapers, okay, we'll keep in the newspapers will keep in the
Passa.
Reference.
Newspapers will keep in the under
Bibliography.
the bibliography. Online sources. What is online sources? Websites, we can say,
Websites.
or new terminology, bibliography. New terminology,
Wait.
bibliography, not bibliography. Bibliography means taking from the web. It is a new terminology. Bibliography.
Yeah.
That is the style of it. And again, I told you, textbooks. Actually, textbooks should not come like this. It should be the end of it. And again, it should be the small letters. It should be the textbooks. For highlighting it, I put it in the red color. Actually, it should not be red color. It should be a bold. Textbooks bold. Yes. So this is the way we have to write. In the textbooks, I already told you, name of the author or authors comes, surnames with the title of the book, then the publication details. That is called publishers, and the town and year and place of publication. And I told you that there are different styles are there. Of course, I will give the time factor is there. I will give the different styles, how it can be written, because generally that uniformity should be there in writing the. Yes, that is the way we can make it out. Next, so reports, we have to write it. I told you the way that report should be written. I already told you in my earlier class, means just before.
Yes.
And this mineral economies in SADC. SADC, this is.
South African development countries.
But what is the spelling you wrote it here? What is the acronym you wrote here? Letters. Did you see the letters?
Yes.
See the
There
letters?
should be omitted one C.
So what is the
I should omit one C. Double C.
SADC or SADC?
SADC. C. One C should be removed.
See, in the morning I have given this abbreviation. See, this is I told you,
Yes.
SADC is an acronym. It's a Southern
Yes.
African Development Community. And here, C,
Yes.
among it, one C should be removed over here, as you said. And it is an acronym. The mineral of the Tanzania Raw Mineral Report 7:18. What is this 7 colon? What is this 7? What is this colon? What is the 18-49? Is it a particular pages or is it a volume?
Page. Yes. Page number.
You follow the pattern. Pattern is very important factor. I shown you the pattern, the way that it should be written. Pattern. See, the pattern is textbooks, no reports. Here, journal and articles, of course, legislations. Yeah, legislations come in the preliminary pages. We know it ordinary way you can write. There is no such a specific rule. Reports, unreported, newspapers, we already told you, international instrument, it comes in the online resources, come in the bibliography, and the references. Yes, reports, no, we are seeing reports. Dissertation, legislation, journal. Where are the reports? Reports I did not see here. He did not mention the report. Reports also comes over here. But I have shown you the way it should be written in the style of writing bibliography reports. Yes, I have shown you. And we dealt it, the reports, how it should be written. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, I will show you the way, yes, where you are, yes, reports is there. Then what comes next? What comes next? I want to stop it because it's bifurcated. Yes. Next, journals, I already shown you the way, how the journal should be written, because you have to follow the sequence. First books, next journals, next theses, dissertation or thesis, next reports, next newspapers, next, what is the last one? What is the last one in the bibliography? I gave you a armor to you, bulletproof. Say pass on. What is the last one in the
Websites.
bibliography?
Websites.
Website.
Why you are taking this much time? I don't know. I I told you websites, bibliography, and I told you the electronic sites or internet sites. That is the last one. So that is the style you have to write it. I told you in the class also. When you want to wear it, first chupi, next skin tight, next surwali. Suppose if you reverse it, first surwali, next skin tight, next chupi, you will become a Superman. A sequence should be there, I told you. Are you following me?
Yes, we are following.
When you go to the 5-star hotel, what do you eat first?
Yes.
When you go to the 5-star hotel, what do you eat first?
I should take juice or call the coffee.
No, that is not the proper way. Soup.
Soup.
Yes, you have to take first soup because that is the appetizer. If you take the soup,
Yes.
the appetizer. After soup, you can go for the main item. Or you can go for the
Yes.
a dry item like paja, kukanga, makau, like that you can go it. Next, either you want to eat ugali, you can eat ugali with some chuzi or nani nani or michele or biryani. And the last item is
After eating, you are
Juice.
going to sleep.
dessert. Last item is a dessert, means sweet. Either you can say sweet or you can say ice cream or you can say even the fruit salad, or sometimes the people will drink even the Coca-Cola, soda, or some people drink coffee or the tea depending upon their taste. So why I am giving this is sequence is very much important. That's my emphasis. Why I am emphasizing you? Sequence is very much important.
It's very important.
Okay, now you are wearing the shirt. I want to hear the logic from you. Suppose you are wearing the shirt. Could you start buttoning from the down to up or up to down? It's the logical
Up to
question.
down.
No,
Yes.
down to up. Because sometimes it will happen, we don't know, one button comes down and one hole goes up. Suppose if you make it from down to, means you can both you can touch it, the edges. Okay, now correct. Now the first button, down button, next another button, next another button, up it will come. The reason is it will not
Yes.
be becomes up and down for one then. So we can make it from up to down for men. For women, women generally up to down, not down to up. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Why? The reason is they want to cover the breast first. So up to down is first important factor. Okay, let us come to the why I am emphasizing is sequence is very much important factor. That's my contention. And moreover, another point, you did not notice it. Another point, I will show you the way. It should be written in alphabetical order. It should be written in
Yes.
alphabetical order. Anything.
Alphabetical order.
For instance, I will take, I am giving this citation, textbooks. For instance, the textbooks are there, it should be written author in alphabetical order. Citations, writing the thesis, yeah. Style of writing the cases, heading in singular, plural, okay. It should be in alphabetical order. Please note the point. Author or the journal, everything, it should be in alphabetical order. You have to maintain it. Even everything, journals, articles, or legislations, of course, that it comes in alphabetical order there. And the dissertation also, because somebody will write it in alphabetical order. And the cases, the preliminary pages, it will come alphabetical order. Even unreported cases also. See, here I will okay, first let me say cases. How the style of writing the cases. Yes, reported cases and unreported cases. There are two things are there. So name of the parties come first, but it should be in italics, and VS is the old style, and this should be in either it should be underlined or it should be in italics. Suppose if you are writing, you should underline it. Suppose you are making a printing, I mean computer, you can make the italics. And then the parties always, please note the point. If the parties ends and the citation goes down, at the time you have to put the full stop. If not, if the continuation is there, parties, then continuation is there, always keep the comma. And the continuation is there, comma is there. Then this citation will go where? With this citation go where?
The footnote.
Footnote. Please note the point. When you are writing the TLR, you use a square bracket. I don't think that you should use the square bracket. No, it is not the square bracket because the rule says it should be parenthesis. And there is no comma. And this is the style of writing the TLR. What is TLR? What is TLR?
Tanzania law report.
See, it should be come in the parenthesis.
Tanzania law report.
Yes, it should come in the parenthesis, not in the square bracket. And the TLR, and if you want to specify the page number, you can write P full stop 221, then full stop, because it's the footnote, no? It goes TLR, you have tried the full stop, because TLR is a initialism. TLR is initialism. Then can the initialism ends with the full stop? My doubt. But the reports generally AR, no. But the style, better not to keep the full stop because the full stop is not there. Just you write the P and 21. As actually nobody will write P. This is wrong style. No. Parenthesis 1981 TLR 221. Suppose if it goes to the footnote, then the full stop comes. Suppose if it did not go to the footnote, we need not to write the full stop. Is it clear?
Yes.
And don't keep the square bracket for the TLR. It is against the norms. I will tell you what is the reason. Because TLR is not in the volumes. If the TLR is in the volumes, you can keep the square bracket. That is the fundamental principle. Did you see any time volumes within 1981, 3 TLR, 1 TLR, 4 TLR? Did you see any time? Answer no. Answer no. But when you come to the All England reports, there you can see 1 will not be mentioned, 2 All England reports, then the page number, and 3, 4, because it is in volumes. Per year there are 4 volumes or All England report. When there are volumes are there, at that instance you have to keep the square bracket. When the volumes are not there, you have to keep the parenthesis. Only Professor Hussain students knows this one. I challenge it. Only Professor Hussain students will know this logic or the equation. If it is in the volumes, you have to keep in the square brackets. If it is not in the volumes, you have to keep in the parentheses, means round brackets. Okay, let us come to the unreported cases. The first name of the parties, you have to write, which should be in italics, and the small v should be there, and it ends with the full stop. Then name of the court, suppose Imbaya Court, High Court, or Zanzibar High Court, or CA, Dar es Salaam CA, and that is the way. Then the number of the case and the name of the case and year of the indicated. So Adija Menene, this is the wrong style. Yeah, this is the way. And it should be in italics. It should be in italics. Then High Court. And High Court, I don't know why he did not mention the place. Name of the parties, name of the court and place. High Court, say about Dar. Let us see Dar. Okay? When Dar is there, Dar is a shortening form. So always ends with the full stop. Is it clear? Dar is a shortening form. And because D is a capital letter, small a, R a full stop, then the civil case, civil appeal, number 40 of 1998, within parentheses you write. Don't write the square bracket. Never write the square bracket. Here, never write the square bracket. What? Always write? Always write?
Yes.
Always write? Always write? parentheses, round bracket. If you write the square bracket, then people understand this fellow doesn't know the techniques or rules of the writing the reporting. So never keep the square bracket. Use only the circular bracket or parenthesis. Unreported, then full stop. So this is the type of writing. Now I will tell you the cases, style of writing cases. Yeah. So what is the case citation example? Reading a case citation, how it can be there? The names of the parties involved in the lawsuit, okay, that is there, like Heaven versus Pender. The volume number of the reporter, because TLR doesn't have the volume, hence we don't mention it. The full text of the case, and abbreviated name of the case reporter, suppose is the TLR or All England report, then the page number, in which case begins the year, and the case was decided, and sometimes it will be mentioned over there. This is the way of the citation. For example, you see Heaven versus Pender. This is V small letter, and it is in italics total. Because title of the party is always in the italics. Then continuation is there, comma. I put the square brackets here. Did you know that why I kept the square bracket? Just now I told you why I kept the square bracket here. Because the King's Bench division having the because the King's Bench is having the volumes, and one is the volume.
Yes.
Whenever a reporter is having the volume, always keep the square bracket. That is the equation.
Yes.
And only the Professor Hussain students know this logic. I will challenge you. You can ask any other person. Why do you keep the square bracket? Why not keep the parenthesis or circular bracket? So the 11 is the volume, QBD is the Queen's Bench division, and the 5 is the place where the case started. That's the page number. Now let us go to the another one. Herman Henjuele versus Republic is the Court of Appeal. It's the Court of Appeal in Mbeya. And the criminal appeal number 164 of the 2005, unreported. This is the style of writing for unreported. What come first? Parties' names, which is in italics. Then what come next? The court which decided the case. Next, the place the court is situated. Then comma, the place, the criminal number, either the civil appeal number or criminal miscellaneous petition number or whatever the number is there, that it will come over there, follows with the year, and later on within parentheses you write the unreported, and the U should be capital letter. Please note the point. The U should be capital letter. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Next, you read the second one.
Yes.
You read this one. You read it and explain. Explain me. Read.
Welcome to 1983.
Okay. Mute, because your breaking voice is coming. Okay, I will read it. Hokam Mbofu versus Pastori Maujage, within parenthesis 1983, TLR 286 High Court. Because sometimes it's a Court of Appeal also. So more specifying High Court. You need not to mention which High Court it is. Mbeya High Court, Zanzibar High Court, or so and so court. Because citation itself will give the idea in which court it is. Then Ismail Ushaija versus Republic. See, again, this is also within parenthesis TLR and 100 HC. Now let us see the James Beta versus ED Kambi. LRT. What is LRT? What is
Law
LRT?
Report of Tanzania.
Repeat.
Law Report of Tanzania. Law Report of Tanzania.
Okay, now N should be small letter. N should be small letter and full stop, and it's a serial number 9.
Sorry, and N stand for what?
It is a style of writing I am saying. If you write the capital N, that means you failed. You don't know how to make the citation. Here.
So what is that N stand for?
It is a style of writing LRT. LRT
Okay.
style is writing, you write the small n full stop 9. Suppose if you see the LRT, whether it's the page number, whether it's the serial number, you could know it. It is not a page number. It is a serial number of the LRT. Because it is the serial numbers are mentioned over there. Please check it. The style of writing is small n. If you write the capital N, you are foolish enough, that will people say. And B.A. Minga versus Monanchi Total Service Station. And when you write the High Court Digest, please note the point. Within parentheses, small n o full stop 241. When the HCD comes small n o, this is also serial number. And when the LRT comes small n, this is the style of writing. Please note the point here. This is the style of writing LRT small n and HCD small n o 241. That is not a page number. Please note the point. If you happen to see the High Court Digest in the 1972, it is not the page number. It is the serial number of the case. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, when you say the Wilkinson versus Downtown, and they say 1895 to 99, it is there, and All England report, and it should be in the square bracket. So what is there in the square bracket? All England report, Weekly Law report, Queen's Bench, King's Bench, Times Law report. These are all would be in the square bracket because, tell me, because
They are the volume.
From the volume.
they are having the values. Again, change you. It is an open challenge to any other person if you ask why they keep the square bracket and why they keep the circular bracket. So All England reports, Weekly Law reports, Times Law reports, Queen's Bench, King's Bench, always in the square, in the square bracket. Now let us see the Chadwick versus British Transport Commission. It is a WLR, Weekly Law report, hence it is a square bracket. And the volume 1 it is here. And here 1977 the square bracket, volume 2, All England reports. Now EA. Now EA comes in the square bracket because it is the volume is here. Did you observe it? Did you observe it?
Yeah. Yes.
EA, it is the volume is there, 1 is here. EA comes in the square bracket, not in a circular bracket. Now you know the technique of it. Now you know the equation of it. Say yes.
No?
Yes,
Say
sir.
yes. East African court, it is in a volumes. Hence there is a 1 is there, and hence the year is in the square bracket. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Carlisle versus Carbolic Balls
Yes.
Company. It's the Queen's Bench. It's the first volume, and it is, that's why it's a square bracket. And Chadwick versus British Transport Commission, it is a square bracket because it's a WLR, Weekly Law reports, and All England reports 2 volume, and 945 is the page. And here WLR 912 is the page. This is not the serial number. It is the page number. It is not a serial number. It is the page number. When the King's Bench, I already told you, square bracket. Queen's Bench, square bracket. Now there is a style of writing. ECA is not square bracket, it is a circular bracket, even though there is a 17 is there. But to me, it should be in the square bracket, not in the circular bracket. Eastern Africa, including the Karaoke, Sans Gauchi versus R, full stop, comma, they wrote in the parenthesis. But East African Court of Appeal having the 17 volume is there. When the volume comes, justification is there, there should be a square bracket, but there should not be a parenthesis. But I saw in the all the places, it is only the parenthesis they wrote. I don't know why they wrote in that way. Perhaps it may be a exceptional case, I believe. They wrote not the square bracket, they wrote the parenthesis, round bracket only. You check it in other cases also. ESEA, whether they wrote in the square bracket, whether they wrote in the parenthesis. But when the equation applicable over there, because it is having the volume, better it should be a square bracket. But in practice, they are not keeping the square bracket. They are keeping only the circular bracket. Is it clear? Is it
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Okay, now come to the IAC appeal code. It is also volumes. But when you come to the AIR, no square bracket, no circular bracket. What is AIR? What is AIR? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on.
Pass up.
All India reporter.
Yes.
All India reporter. All A-double-A.
Okay.
Space India INDIA.
Our India reporter.
Space REPORTER reporter. All India reporter. No parenthesis, no square bracket, no nothing. And 1971 year, Supreme Court, page number 45. This is the style of writing. If anyone keep in the square bracket, if anyone keep in the circular bracket, you can kill him on the public because it's against the norms. But when you are writing Supreme Court cases, SCC, yes, you can put it in the circular bracket. I will show you the way. See, this is the style of writing the citation. Suppose Supreme Court cases, decided cases, it will be in the circular bracket. But I will show you the one case law. So even a square bracket and circular bracket is a very important factor when you are writing it. That shows that you are very much perfect in writing the citation of the cases. But let us see the Supreme Court of Canada, and this is Canada cases. So now I have explained you how the cases should be written. Whether square bracket can be used, circular bracket can be used, no bracket can be used, N should be a capital letter, or N should be a small letter, or NO should be a small letter, and I give you. Now you tell me, small n, where it comes? Small n and full stop and page number and numbering, Arabic number. In which reporter it comes? Yes, just before we discussed this thing. Just before we have discussed this thing. LRT. Where we discussed? Here. Only small n will come and full stop will come, and the serial number is there 9. And small n, small o, full stop will come in the HCD with the parentheses. Please note the point. Did you know the distinction before I taught this one? Anyone, please keep your hand on the moyo and tell me. Please keep your hand on the heart and you tell me, did you know this distinction or the bifurcation or the technique which I taught just now? Unmute and give me the answer. Unmute and give me the answer. Unmute and give me the answer. You are not giving answer at all. Yes, there is some technical problem, it seems. That's the reason that you could not give it. So this is the way. Are you following me? Can I stop it?
Yes. I'm not
I
see somewhere due to Twitter.
I asked the question.
I'm lost due to problem.
I asked the question. Did you know the distinction which I made it clear to you before or not? I asked
which distinction, sir? Yes. Which question, sir?
Did you know the distinction of small n, small o, full stop, you have to keep it, and for the HCD and the LRT, you have to keep the small n, full stop, and the number you have to keep it. Or when do you have to keep the parenthesis? When you have to keep the square brackets. Did you know this equation or this technique before I taught you?
Yes, I'm
No, sir.
catch you on.
Then why you did not give the answer to my question?
I'm understand about the square bracket and the round bracket.
Did you know it when to be used and what is the technique of using it?
Square bracket is when it has the volume number.
I am asking the plain question. Did you know it before I teach this one?
I was not. We didn't know.
That is my question I am asking you. Did you know the distinction? Did you know the equation?
No.
Did you know the formula? When to keep the square bracket? When to keep the circular bracket? That's my question. I said it's an open challenge.
We are way after teaching.
It is only the Professor Hussain students knows it.
Yes.
It is an open challenge, I told you. Only Professor Hussain students know this technique and these things which I taught. Okay, now let us go to the another point of how you should write the headings. I told you already. Should heading be singular or plural? Read.
It should be singular. In general, use singular form when establishing heading for part of the body. For example, eye, art, hand, or some part of the body. However, exceptions to this practice and have been established in the plural form. For example, kidneys, fingers. This heading may be retained in the plural form.
In other cases, always heading should be.
Singular or plural.
Singular form, not plural form. Only kidneys and fingers in some places is a plural form. But in the most places, heading should be. Say singular form. Say singular form. Okay, now let us come to that. For instance, I will give the example to you. What is CRC?
Yes.
What is CRC? Which I typed there.
Convention of Refugees and whatever. No, I don't know.
CRC means it is a child rights. Is the instrument child right. Convention of Child Rights. What is that? Convention of Child Rights.
Convention on the right of the children.
Yes, United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. Is it clear?
Yes.
Why not children is not written here, you tell me? Why not the United Nations Conventions on the Right of the Children? Why did not write it here? Why they write child? Can you give me the answer?
Because the convention should be in a singular, and the right of the child should be on the. It cannot be attached there to the singular.
The simple answer is it is a heading and it is a title. In the title, always use the singular form, not plural form.
Yes.
Did you know this technique? Did you know this equation?
No.
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 That's why if you miss my class, you miss many things. It's an open challenge.
Yes.
So always heading should be in a singular form. That's my point. Okay, next. Side heading. Even side heading also in the singular form. Read this one.
Side is singular, although be often uses in the collective nouns such as team as singular or plural depending on the context. I'm having trouble imagining a sentence that uses side as a plural. Thank you, and thanks to everybody.
Now the question comes. When you write, again, when you write the side heading, could you write the singular form or could you write the plural form? You know what is side heading? Side heading comes in the left-hand side. When you
Singular.
write side heading, could you write in a singular form or a plural form?
Singular form.
Example. See, we write hypothesis. Hypothesis. It is a singular form. We never write hypothesis in the side heading. We write hypothesis, which is a singular form. And hypothesis is a plural form, which can be written as a side heading, whether singular form or a plural form.
Singular form.
Singular form can be written over there. But plural form, it can write under the hypothesis, the following hypotheses are tested in this study. We write here, the following hypotheses are tested in this study. We write in the sentence form. At that instance, we can write in the plural form. But when you're writing the side heading, we never write the plural form. We write the singular form. Is it clear?
Yes. Yes.
This is the technique of learning. This is the way of dealing the things. Everything having its own equations. Are titles are always singular? Answer is yes. Subject verb agreement with the literary title. Titles of the book, plays, operas, films, other literary works always take a verb agreement. That means if the verb is a plural form, then the subject is a plural form. I don't know whether you got my point or not. Okay, I will explain you. See, when the subject is, suppose subject is, let us presume, writings is the subject. Writings of Mr. X is good or are good. Which one is correct? Writings of Mr. X is good or are good? Tell me. I asked the question to you. Writings of Mr. X is a good or writings of Mr. X is are good?
Are good.
Why are good? Tell me.
Because you are talking of the plural form on the term writings.
And hence the verb should be plural.
Plural. Yes.
She wakes up early. Wakes up early because she is a third person singular. Hence, verb should be a singular. Hence, this is called subject agreement. This is called subject. You mute it. I'm getting the sound. You mute it when you want to speak at the time. You do this is called subject agreement. Can you say they wakes up early? Answer? Can you say that they wakes up early? Please say they wakes up early.
They wakes up early.
This sentence is correct? Correct? This is grammatically?
No. Grammatically, it's not.
Now tell me.
It's
what
not
should be
correct.
correct. Now you tell me what should be correct one.
They wake up early.
They wake up early because there is a plural form subject, hence the verb should be a plural form. So that is the way, depending upon the verb, depending upon the subject, verb will vary. At that instance, could you use the plural form? Could you use the singular form? But mostly, we try to use only the singular form. Mostly, we try to use only the singular form. That is the equation. Okay. When quoting the where do you put the full stop? Therefore, no, you mute it, because when you speak, you can open it. If you don't want to speak at the time, mute it. I'm getting the sound from you. Only 5 minutes are left. When you speak it, you can unmute. When you don't speak, you can mute it. Only 5 minutes are left. So, when the full stop will come? I told you, Nuru, you
Yes.
mute it. You mute it. When you want to speak,
Yes.
at the time you unmute. I'm getting the sound from your side. Disturbance. I'm getting the disturbance
Okay,
from your side. You mute it. Yes. Don't unmute. When you want to speak, you unmute it at the time. So, when to use the full stop? The comma goes inside the quotation mark. Of course, the full stop belongs to the carrier sentence and it applies to the whole sentence, not just the quotation. It sits outside the closing mark. Suppose there is a quotation is there. Think that there is a quotation. When the quotation is there, say it is a quotation. Now you tell me, full stop comes where? Within the quotation or after the quotation? I ask the question. A quotation is there. Full stop comes
After, sir.
within the quotation or after the quotation?
After, sir.
After the quotation it should come, because the end of the total thing is full stop. End of the total thing is full stop. Hence, so now you tell me the position. In which, anytime it will stop it. In which places full stop comes at the end? Now you tell me. I will type it. In which places I referred, the full stops come at the end. Please tell me. Number one.
After the quotation.
Title of the book, full stop. Title of the journal, full stop. Title of the newspaper, full stop. Edition, when you write edition, means it is a shortening form. Shortening form always goes with the, or ends with.
When I started writing essays, I had no clue how to format bibliographies and citations. I'd never heard of citation styles or style manuals. So what I did is just find a journal article or an essay or a book and copied the citation style from that source. Eventually, I noticed that there were different citation styles, but I still had no clue why one was used instead of another. In this video, I want to give you a survey of the different citation styles that you might encounter in academic writing, and some tips on what styles to use and what style manuals you should have on your bookshelf. Let's start with the MLA style. MLA stands for Modern Language Association. It's actually a pretty recent citation format. The MLA style manual is only in its third edition as of this recording, with the first edition in 1985. This is the most commonly used style for academics working in the humanities, like English literature, literary criticism, media and cultural studies, and a hodgepodge of other arts disciplines. In the examples I used in the plagiarism videos, I was using APA style for the most part. MLA style is a lot like the APA style in that it uses in-text citations, but an important difference is that MLA uses the author page number system rather than the author date system. In this example, the quote is from a book by William Wordsworth, and the citation is Wordsworth 263, where 263 is the page number from that source. Here's what the source reference would look like in the bibliography, which in MLA style is titled Works Cited. Every bibliography style requires similar information: author, title, publication date, where it was published, and so on. But the specific formatting will be different in each style. Here, for example, the date of publication comes at the end, but in the APA style, as we'll see, the date comes right after the author's name. APA stands for American Psychological Association. The first APA style manual came out in 1927 and was designed to serve the writing needs of psychologists and anthropologists. But the APA style is now widely used across the social sciences, and there are branches of the humanities that use this style as well. If you were to write the Wordsworth citation in APA style, it would look like this. APA style uses the author and the date of publication rather than the author and page number, though page number references are often included as well, like here. APA uses more commas to separate the elements of the citation than the MLA style does, and it uses that P. preface to indicate page numbers, where MLA doesn't require this. A student once asked me why APA uses the author date system and MLA uses the author page number system. I hadn't a clue, so I went and researched it. The basic idea, as far as I can tell, is that there is a presumption about what kinds of information are most important for someone writing in the humanities versus someone writing in the social sciences. In the social sciences, more often you're citing the conclusions of the most current sources that bear on your work. So the date of publication is emphasized, and details of where in the source the quote is located less so. In the humanities, on the other hand, it's assumed that your work is engaging with the ideas of other writers that appear at specific places in their works. So the precise location of the ideas within a given work is emphasized more than the date of publication of the work. All right, moving on. Here's what the bibliography entry would look like in an APA formatted paper. Here you would title the bibliography References rather than Works Cited. And notice that you only give the initial for the first name of the author, and the date follows in brackets. Okay, next on our list is the CSE style, which can be quite different from the MLA and APA styles. CSE stands for Council of Scientific Editors, and this citation style is commonly found in the natural sciences. Originally, the editors were mostly biologists, and the format was focused on life sciences like microbiology, and zoology, and plant sciences, and so on. But now it's used across a wide array of physical and biological sciences. CSE format actually supports two quite different citation styles. The first is just a variant of the author date system that we've seen before. Here's an example. There's nothing too unusual here. The second is the citation sequence system, and this is different. Here, the citation is labeled with a superscripted number. It looks like a footnote reference. And each new citation is numbered sequentially. So the next would be 2, followed by 3, and so on. Sometimes the number won't be superscripted. It'll be just at regular size placed in brackets at the location of the citation. Obviously, with a system like this, the bibliography has to reflect the citation sequence. So each bibliographic entry is labeled by the corresponding citation number. But if you refer to the same reference more than once, you use the same number. Here's an example. The citations are superscripted. The first sentence cites references 1 and 4. The second sentence cites reference 4 again. A bibliography might look like this. Each reference is numbered, so the numbers 1 and 4 in the document would refer to references 1 and 4 in this reference list. This list also illustrates the CSE citation format for bibliographic entries, which is quite different from, say, the APA format. Just to note a few of these differences, here you only give initials for the first names of the authors, you don't put spaces between them, you don't capitalize the names of journal articles or put them in quotes, you just capitalize the first letter of the title. And you also abbreviate the journal titles. This is the sort of thing you just have to consult a style manual to figure out. Or, as most people do, just use a representative journal article or essay as a model when formatting your own essay. Okay, our last citation style we'll look at is the Chicago style, sometimes called CMS or CMOS, after the initials of the Chicago Manual of Style. It's named after Chicago since it's been published by the University of Chicago Press since the first edition came out way back in 1906. The Chicago Manual of Style is a beast, almost 1,000 pages long. It's not just a style manual for essays. It also has sections on editorial practice and English grammar and usage, and it covers style and format issues for all kinds of publications, including books for non-academic audiences. The Chicago Style Manual is also used for some social science and humanities journals, so you might see this used in places where you'd otherwise see MLA or APA style used. Luckily, for students who need help writing research papers, there's an excellent and much shorter style guide, written originally by Kate Turabian in 1937, that basically compiles all the relevant style rules that students would need to know. The book is called A Manual for Writers of Research Papers, Theses, and Dissertations, and it's been periodically revised over the years by various teams. This is sometimes called Turabian style, but it's really just the Chicago style edited and compiled for undergraduate and graduate students. What's distinctive about the Chicago style is that it supports two different reference styles and supports the mixing of those styles in the same publication. When most writers hear the term Chicago style, they think of a sequential numbering, notes-based citation system, like the one illustrated here. The citations are numbered, and then the source information is given either in a footnote at the bottom of the page or an endnote at the end of the document. With this system, you can avoid having a separate bibliography section altogether. One of the advantages of a system like this is that the page isn't cluttered with citation information, and it can make for a more pleasant reading experience. Now, although this is in some respects the stereotypical Chicago-style system, the Chicago-style manual also supports inline citation styles like the MLA and APA styles. So it gets complicated explaining what makes the citation style distinct. For example, here's a citation system that the Chicago style also supports. On top, you've got a paragraph with some standard in-text citations. You've also got a reference to a footnote, footnote number 6. At the bottom of the page is footnote number 6. And in it, you've got some commentary. These are sometimes called discursive notes to distinguish them from footnotes that just contain source information. And in the commentary, there's another in-text citation. And all of this is supported by the Chicago Manual of Style. So you can see that it encourages flexibility and mixing of citation styles, which can come in handy for different purposes. Okay, that about wraps up this introduction to citation styles. Here's the summary table. What I would recommend for any student is to pick up a copy of a good style guide suitable to your discipline, because it'll make life easier for you in the end. Just Google any of these style names and you'll get lots of online resources. And if you go to Amazon, just search for these names and you'll get the style manuals themselves, as well as a bunch of third-party style guides that are basically like dummies guides to a particular citation style, which can also be very helpful.